Tanushka, over to you first. When we talk about, Forda calling off that strike, but it is AIIMS that's, standing its ground, saying that we will continue our agitation. What are the demands that haven't been met? What is it that even after that meeting with JP Nadda, giving assurances as far as security is concerned, saying all necessary steps will be taken in this case, and yet AIIMS and FEMA continues with that protest. Take us through what are the demands that that haven't been met during that meeting.
Right, so despite the Federation of Resident Doctors Association calling off their strike after their meeting with the Union Health Minister JP Nadda, giving his reassurance and assurance that their demands will be met and safety of doctors will be ensured, while Forda has called off the strike, the Independent State Resident Resident Doctors Association have independently not called off the strike yet, which therefore means that in the capital as well as in other states such as Maharashtra, UP, Odisha, all of these places, even Karnataka, the doctors' resident strike is still not off. The resident doctors continue to protest for the cause here after the brutal and gruesome rape and murder of this young trainee doctor at Kolkata at RG Medical Hospital. And what we do also understand the reason why these resident doctors nationwide have not called off their protests or their strike and still continue on the same stance that indefinitely strike is on and will not be halted until their until their demands are met, which is that primarily they want centralized protection for doctors across hospitals, because such a condition, these doctors work night shifts, late night shifts as well. So their main demand still stands for a centralized protection law, and unless this demand is met, these doctors have decided that they will stay put on their protests.
Right, Tanishka, of course, the doctors standing their ground. We also have Saurabh with us. Saurabh, when it comes to the case has now been shifted to the CBI. Take us through the latest as far as the case is concerned.
Well, the High Court has raised one very important question, and that is that if there was evidence that this lady was actually found on the campus, why was it that there was no complaint that was lodged by the authorities at the RG hospital? And that led to the registration of a UD case. What is a UD case? A UD case is a case where, there is, of course, a case that's registered when the body is unclaimed, when there's a suicide and things like that. But this was a clear case of assault and murder from the first look at the body, and therefore the RG hospital authority should have registered a complaint rather than waiting for the parents to arrive and putting all that responsibility on the parents who were already bereaved. So that's one question that the High Court has raised, and of course the registration of the UD case led to a lot of suspicion and allegations of a cover-up. The second thing, of course, the High Court said was that because the family of the victim, which is the petition that they've gone by mainly, has called for a court-monitored probe, they are immediately transferring the case to the CBI. And that has happened. The CBI has taken over the case yesterday. But what we will see today is the CBI perhaps visiting RG Medical College and Hospital to, to visit the crime scene, etc., and also perhaps question people, because the probe has been handed over to them. But that is not the end of what we have been witnessing for the last few days. What we will also see now is the fact that, the women protesters today, on the call of a lady, will occupy the streets at midnight. This is on the eve of Independence Day, and they will occupy the streets at midnight. Just basically saying that women should be free to move around at night without having to worry about their safety and security. And this will happen on the eve of Independence Day at midnight today. And this is, of course, going to be another form of protest that's going to continue. Meanwhile, the investigation of the case will continue. The former principal of RG Medical College, who was reappointed as principal of Calcutta National Medical College within hours of his resignation, has also been asked to go on long leave by the Calcutta High Court, and therefore the investigation continues with the court monitoring the investigation. This is not just a normal CBI investigation. The CBI will have to periodically file reports in the court on the status of the investigation. The police, remember, have arrested one person, but the family and several others have expressed suspicion that this could be the handiwork of more than one person, and therefore, that is one angle perhaps the CBI will be looking at. Now, the inquest has been done, the postmortem has been done, and the body has been cremated. So, whatever evidence has to be collected has already been collected as far as the body is concerned. So, in that context, what we will see is the CBI continue the investigation and see if there are more people involved, because that would make it a far more serious crime. What the police have been saying is that this is this one person who, because of his perversion, did it. But if there are more, then that could also lead to more revelations in this case.
Right, Saurabh, we will keep tracking that story and coming back to you for more. But Tanushka, differing with FODA is the Federation of All India Medical Association, saying that most of the resident doctors association are going to continue with that strike along with FIMA, and AIIMS Delhi being a part of that. It has said that the national RDA meeting was attended by over 90 representatives. The Resident Doctors Association of All India AIIMS have gone on to say that their strike will continue. Take us through, how is this impacting the OPD operations, as far as what are the challenges that the hospitals are facing due to the strike?
What we know as of now, the strikes that are still on by the Resident Doctors Association in the capital as well as across the country, in collaboration with the Federation of All India Medical Sciences as well, is that other than the elective services, no other services will be in any sort of stop or halt. Only the OPD, OT and emergency services will still be in complete functioning. So this is what hospitals in the capital have also assured with respect to the major Delhi government hospitals such as AIIMS, RML, Safdarjung Hospital. So the OT and the emergency services and patients who need to be treated on a priority basis will be continued to treated. There will be no stopping in that. However, the elective services and the OPD will be shut as all the resident doctors continue to be on their strike against this heinous crime.
Right, Tanushka, we will keep coming back to you for more on that. Thank you so much for joining us early this morning. Now, the High Court noted serious lapses in the hospital administration's response after a doctor was found dead in its seminar hall on Friday morning. Her clothes in disarray and injuries all over her body. The victim's parents, the court has said, now wants an investigation by an independent body, and have said that the authorities were not on their side. The court also questions the government's steering hurry as far as in order to reinstate the principal of that college after he quit. So this is what the High Court has gone on to say. The High Court hands over the Kolkata rape murder case to the CBI, and it is Calcutta's High Court that expresses its displeasure with the investigation so far. The High Court has asked the police in Kolkata to hand over the case files to the CBI. The Chief Justice has also gone on to say that the CBI will now be investigating the matter in order to preserve the confidence of ordinary citizens. The High Court has said that the case should go to CBI as there's a possibility that the evidence may be tampered with. We will monitor the probe, is what has been said, and a report should be filed in a matter of 3 weeks. So that is the deadline that has been put by the High Court, pulling up the hospital administration for not filing that complaint. And the administration had not even, as far as the administration is concerned, as far as the victim's family is concerned, that the administration was not with the victim or her family. And the court also questions the hurry in which the government wants to reinstate the principal of that college after he resigned.